Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. And that person down there under the mask is Brian King Hosein as he has made his return to the show. That looks like
You
Yoda.
you sure
Um,
that's him? You sure that's him,
I,
or is that
I,
is
I,
that a clone, like they said about Hamlin?
yeah, I
It's
think that's
Grogu.
him.
Grogu.
Um,
Put some respect on his name.
we are also joined by Jose Carlos Gomes, and we are back for the AFC and NFC Championship preview. Last week, Jose and I believe, we're both 2-2. Is that correct?
Nope, 3-1.
Sorry, we were both 3-1. And Gil was 2-2.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, and Brian, you went 1-3 for your first round of picks.
I was with the audience. We were just going with it. That's it.
Yes.
Your audience.
So there's still a race between Gil and Jose. There's a 1-game difference. I'll update you guys at the end of the show on the standings there. I am out of it, even though I had a good season. Jose and Gil put me under the water early on, and I couldn't catch up. As well, we're going to do what's on our mind because we only have 2 games to review. We're going to be talking a lot about what's on our mind this week. And I got a lot on my mind, especially in regards to that man down there who had the gall, the audacity to go against my 49ers. But that's okay. You see, I'm going to get to why he did it and how ridiculous that is when we talk about our picks. But until then, let's start with our picks and get that over with. Let's start with the San Francisco 49ers. That's right, our 49ers. They go to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, the team that absolutely destroyed and embarrassed the Minnesota Vikings on Monday night earlier this year, 23-7, where Kirk Cousins, INTs, threw 3 picks in the red zone to lose 23-7, which started the fraud campaign for his Vikings.
I think you started that fraud campaign. Make Minnesota whack again.
No, me and Gil. Even though Gil, decided to go against the 49ers, just made him look stupid for the rest of the year. But let's start with that game. It's 3:00 on Sunday. The Philadelphia Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite. They looked good last week, beating up the Giants, further cementing the fraud status of the Vikings, who made Daniel Jones look good. Jose, who do you got in this game?
First of all, we're missing somebody. Gil, what happened, man? It's your Green Bay Packers. Then it's the Dallas Cowboys. Man, haven't you learned that don't ever bet against the 49ers when it comes to playoffs, man? You're always going to lose. So back on track. Listen, man, it's going to be a tough game. They're both good defenses. Both have good defenses. The Niners have a slight better defense than the Eagles. We all know that. The Niners are going to stop the run game. I don't think they're going to run the ball. The only thing that scares me is the Niners struggle against mobile quarterbacks. When they've faced Russell Wilson, when they faced Kyle Murray, guys that can run out of the pocket, they struggle. But saying that, I just think right now the 49ers offense, we're running the ball with Elijah Mitchell, McCaffrey. You have Deebo Samuel, couple crazy plays that Shanahan will throw in there. I just think the 49ers will squeak out a win in Philadelphia and go to the Super Bowl. But not saying this will be a tough game. It's going to come down to the wire. And if it would all depend on the 49ers run game. I think if the 49ers run the ball, keep Hurts off the field, they'll be fine and they'll win this game. But it's going to be a close one, but I can't go against my Niners. Right now, they're rolling 11 games in a row win streak. Let's make it 12. Let's get that 6th championship that should have been there already a long time ago. Let's go Niners.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game. The Eagles are really good. I watched the Eagles to end the year. Their defense was a little vulnerable. Their offense was still good, even with Gardner Minshew. But the 49ers defense has been number one all season long. It has never wavered. It had a couple of bad games, one against Kansas City and one against the Raiders late in the season when they had to pull out a 37-34 win. Brock Purdy, who was nominated for Offensive Rookie of the Year, despite only playing 8 games, that's how good he's been, has been unflappable. He's been excellent. He's made all the throws. He's shown absolutely no nervousness whatsoever. And combined with Christian McCaffrey, this team has been unstoppable since that trade. They have not lost a game since trading for Christian McCaffrey. Despite the reports that I've heard, I hope Kyle Shanahan doesn't turn into Kyle Dubas or Brendan Shanahan and start Jimmy G. Please, just keep the porn star in a porn bed somewhere with his wife and get him as far away from Brock Purdy as possible. Providing that happens and Brock Purdy is not messed with, I have the 49ers winning this game by a field goal. I just think the 49ers defense will be the difference in this game. And Brock Purdy will make enough plays. Now, Jose is correct. Jalen Hurts' mobility is a big problem, and that could cost us the game. But if we get to him early and we put him down on that shoulder that's a little bit hurt, Nick Bosa, you're the most important player in this game. You need to knock his ass out. If that happens, the 49ers win this game by a field goal, and they go on to the Super Bowl. Brian, deal with it.
Okay. I love you guys. So I'm going to be an asshole to you. And I'm going to say the Niners lose to the Eagles. But it's warranted. What Josie just said about the running game, if McCaffrey can run that ball, they're going to win, right? But like you just said, Reese, about the defense, if Hurts can throw that ball and they have that passing game going on, it's over. It's a wrap. And you guys just mentioned the defense. The defense is strong. Yes, you did say the Niners have the number one defense in the league, depending on how you want to look at it, depending on which categories, right? But it is very strong. And if what I'm saying is I'm going to go with the Eagles because I think that if they can get their passing game going on and they can shut down McCaffrey, that's it. It's a win for them. I don't know what you guys think. I think it could be by a field goal or quite possibly a touchdown because the spread is 2.5. It could become very, very close.
Yeah. For me, this game comes down to the 49ers secondary against the Eagles wide receivers and how their offensive line holds up against San Francisco's defensive line. That's going to be the difference in this game.
That's what I'm saying.
So
to me, it's containing the pocket and not letting Jalen Hurts run the ball. Yep. And containing him and keeping him in that pocket and not letting him scramble because he can run and he can like throw the ball on the run. And that's when 49ers are vulnerable. Like when they get pressure on the quarterback and then their linebackers are covering guys, that's when they get caught, right?
So I think we all know that's how my Vikings get fucked up.
My hope is that Hurts doesn't want to run as much because his shoulder's kind of still messed up, but we'll see. If he's in the pocket, he's a different quarterback. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get to game 2. I tried to tell y'all how many times we've been on this show for 2 years. How many times have I told you? Josh Allen is overrated. He's a turnover machine. And when the biggest games show up, he loses. Joe Burrow kicked his ass, as well as the rest of the 49 since the Bengals defense and offensive line.
Oh, you're still stuck on the 49ers.
Yes, I'm in love with them. Now, Joe Burrow has been one of the most impressive quarterbacks that no one's talked about in the last 3 years. It's all about Mahomes and Josh Allen and Russell Wilson coming to Denver. But Joe Burrow's just stayed there nice and cool with his glasses on and his cigar in his mouth. And he's beaten all of them. He's taking care of Josh Allen. He's 3-0 against Mahomes. He's not afraid. He's not worried. And guess what? Like I predicted before the playoffs started, he's going to the Super Bowl because they're going to beat Kansas City again. And they're not going to just beat Kansas City because Patrick Mahomes is limping on an ankle. They're going to beat them because they're the better team. I got the Bengals. They're actually favored 1.5 of this game, which should tell you something. They got to take care of Kelsey. If they take care of Kelsey, I don't think Pacheco is going to be much of a factor running the football. I don't like any of their other wide receivers, and I don't think Kansas City's defense is very good. And therefore, Chase, Boyd, Higgins, and Hurst are going to have a field day. And God forbid that running game gets going, because Piron and Mixon had a field day last week. And if they get it going, then you got play action pass, and Kansas City's in a lot of trouble. I got the Bengals playing San Francisco in the Super Bowl like I had before the playoffs. Jose.
This is a tough game to pick, man. But I'm going to base my pick on what's happening in Vegas. Okay. Last week, the Cowboys had 75% everybody's money on the Cowboys to cover that spread. And the 49ers ended up winning that game. This week, it's 80% people's money on the Bengals. Okay. So Vegas, They don't want to lose. And you know how the NFL always has these like little fixed games here and there. So
we know how the mob runs. Right?
What's that?
I said we know how the mob runs.
Of course, 100%. And the house never loses. So that's saying I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'll tell you why. Not only because of that, I just think this year they improved their secondary. A lot of people were disrespecting their defense, even including me at the beginning of the year. We never even picked Kansas City. We thought their defense was going to be shit, blah, 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 blah. But it's not bad as people think it is. So, and with Mahomes back there, now they've established a good running game with Isaiah Pacheco. And you still have McKinnon for those little passes and the little inside the red zone and stuff like that. You have Kelsey, you have Juju Schuster. Man, the man's loaded with options, like and threats. And Tony too, they picked up from the Giants. So I think the curse stops here, and I think Mahomes beats Burrow for the first time, and it's gonna be a Kansas City 49ers rematch of the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Just to talk about last week a little bit, the turning point of that game was when Chad Henne went 98 yards on Jacksonville's defense. That was the turning point. They were never going to win that game, Jacksonville, after they allowed that to happen. I just think they beat a healthy Mahomes last year, coming back from 21-3 down. He's not healthy right now, and therefore they win. Brian, who do you got?
I want to, no homo, but I want to ride your train on Cincinnati. But because I just don't want to see Brittany and Jackson posting on TikTok like that shit is annoying. They're like the Kardashians. Just send them to Mars. We don't need to see them. Okay. But what I do honestly think, like with what Jose was just saying about the weapons that they have, I do my heart lies with Kansas City winning, and like he was saying, Kansas City getting to the Super Bowl, but like I already picked Philly over your Niners. Sorry, guys. Don't kick me off the show. But I honestly think from what I've seen from the eye test, like you people out there in the audience, by the way, go click subscribe. Go click like on the Reese Report. Okay? It's a dope show. These guys are great. Why the hell you think I'm here? Anyway, honestly, I think I like I'm torn. Like I don't want to see Brittany, and I don't want to see Jackson, but I'm gonna have to go with. It's hard for me as a Minnesota Vikings fan. Can I tell you guys this? Joe Burrow, he used to wear a Randy Moss jersey, a Vikings Randy Moss jersey, and Patrick Mahomes used to wear a Minnesota Twins jersey because of his dad. So as a Vikings fan, I'm kind of torn, but I'll go with KC on this one.
All right,
Sorry, Reese.
So Brian has Kansas City, Philadelphia. Jose has Kansas City, San Francisco. I have Cincinnati, San Francisco. So we're all different. I love it. Makes it more interesting. So
Let's see
those
what
are
happens next week.
AFC. Those are our AFC NFC Championship picks. What a story Brock Purdy is. If he were to win the Super Bowl, San Francisco's in a position to win 2 or 3 more because they're not paying Purdy or Lance any money, which means you can build the rest of the team. You can re-sign Christian McCaffrey. You can keep all your players. This is a golden situation for the 49ers that they have to take advantage of. And I fully expect them to do that unless Kyle Shanahan gets nervous and decides to blow a 28-3 lead again, which I hope doesn't happen. So Dak Prescott. What did I tell you guys? Dak Prescott, 2 turnovers, right back to his choking ways. And you know who he reminds me of? It's not surprising that Brian only has Randy Moss and Adrian Peterson behind him, because he has no one from this team, from any current player from this team that he's supporting. He's Kirk Cousins. He's the Dallas Cowboy version of Kirk Cousins. That's what Dak Prescott is. Whenever there's a big game, he chokes it up worse than Kirk, and Kirk does it in the regular season and playoffs. Dak Prescott equals Kirk Cousins. Hold on.
Jose
they make around the same money, and they're the same quarterback.
No, Jose told you last week with that last play. Jose, you said it. You have a 300-pound lineman coming at you. You're going to throw to the triple coverage or double coverage?
What happened to Dak Prescott? They put Ezekiel Elliott at center, and they ran him over, so he had to throw the pass.
That last play was a joke, but we weren't going to talk about that.
Yeah, but listen, and I said it earlier this year. Mike McCarthy, garbage. Get rid of him, coach. Jose, you have anything to say about that?
He doesn't deserve to get fired. He did a good job. Hey, listen,
for that play alone, he should get fired.
He made it to the second round of the playoffs. You got to give him props for that. He beat Tampa Bay on the road, and they had a close game against the 49ers on the road too. So
idiotic mistakes.
It's not even idiotic mistakes. It was just that first pick that Dak threw, the 100%, that's on him. The second one, it's a deflection. It went off of CeeDee Lamb. It went to the Fred Warner. That's not on him either, right? And then the big key of the game was when they lost Tony Pollard. Okay, when they lost Tony Pollard, they lost a big weapon there. And then it was just basically just shut down CeeDee Lamb, and the Niners would win that game.
Yeah, and Zeke is done. Zeke is done as a running back. He's done. He can't break any runs anymore. He can't.
Been done for years.
So he's been done for years. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. And now I'm going to get to what's on my mind. Oh, Jose, you're going to love this. Brian, now, as bad as your Vikings are, you're a decent fan, you know? You're a reasonable fan. You know, you're not going to start breaking shit. But Cowboys fans, oh my God, breaking TVs, running over TVs, throwing jerseys in the garbage. You know what they remind me of? Leaf fans after they lose. Similar, very, very similar. They haven't won in 25 years. I got news for you. It's worse for Leaf fans out there, but they're still not burning jerseys like you guys. Jesus, why are you breaking your TVs for? It's not their fault. And Skip Bayless, you know what, Jose? I'm gonna hand this one off to you like you're my quarterback, okay? And I'm passing it to my running back. Can you explain? And go and just give it to Skip Bayless for me. The guy threw the Dak Prescott's jersey in the garbage.
Listen, that's what happens. That's what happens when you run your mouth all week saying that they're going to beat the 49ers and we'll see the Eagles in Philadelphia and that we have a better quarterback and this and that. Buddy, just keep your mouth shut and talk after the game. Don't start tweeting out freaking shit before the game even starts. And not knowing the results and stuff like that. After the game, you can tweet whatever you want. That's just motivation for teams to freaking fuel on. Just like when the Niners played the Dolphins, just 2 running backs running their mouths. So why we have a better quarterback here and there? What happened? You guys got broken down, and your quarterback threw for like 3 picks. There goes your amazing quarterback. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying, Skip Bayless, just keep your mouth shut. First, it was that stupid Hamlin thing. Now this, man, just get off Twitter, man. Just get off Twitter. Stop tweeting. Just stick to your show and get your ass kicked by Shannon Sharp, and just listen and just shut up. That's all I gotta say to him.
Now that's a good segue, because Shannon Sharp, what is wrong with you? Now I understand you love. Now I understand you love LeBron James, but that's taking it a little far. Like, you got front row tickets, you love your man. You want to give him hugs. You want to wear his jacket. You want to make sure you're there when he breaks the scoring record. But my goodness, you don't have to yell at other players. You don't have to say F you to other players. And this from the guy that says that you can't just go to any game and say whatever you want. Oh, I guess it's different when it's you. Now, I'll give Shannon credit. He did come on his show and live and for 5 minutes apologize because he knew he was wrong. But you can't do that, Shannon Sharp. You can't take your fanism and make it go that far. That's a little much. And your boy LeBron, understand, he can't stop the Lakers from losing. I don't care how great he is. They're not winning. And proof of that is last night when Kawhi torched his ass. So understand, the Lakers are not going to win any championships. They're not going to be competitive in the playoffs. And LeBron, you can score all the points you want, but you're not going to win. And Shannon Sharp, no matter what you say, you ain't going to win.
AD's coming back. And if they can add a couple of good guys on the trade deadline, well, watch out for the Lakers.
Well, Rui Hachimura is not the answer.
Sean the Glass, he's going to play 2 games and then he's going to be sitting on the bench. Fuck out of here with that guy.
Hey, he's still a good player. I'll have him on my team anyway.
LeBron James is a good player.
What's that?
LeBron James is a good player. Yes.
Who LeBron James?
I'm talking about AD.
Yeah, me too. I'm talking about AD.
I don't believe. Yes, I just don't believe he'll stay healthy.
Can I weigh on here on what's bothering both of you guys?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Jose. First of all, you were talking about Skip Bayless. Okay, to me, there's only one Skip, and that's my guy, Skip and the King. There's only one Skip. Okay, that's all that matters. Because this guy with his bullshit about that kid from Buffalo, that to me, that was garbage. That was horrible. That was wrong. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he had a couple bottles of wine doing the LeBron thing, right? Maybe he was doing that. And then him saying, him throwing out that jersey, that was all just for show. Like, this guy, honestly, and it segues me into what you got to say, Reese. That show between the two of them, Skip and Shannon and Skip, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't give a shit anymore because I stopped watching it. To me, they're just 2 brainless idiots. I'd still agree with Skip that LeBron sucks. But to me, they're just morons. And what Shannon did the other day, for a person, a patron, to come to a basketball game and step on the court, coaches aren't even allowed to step on the court half the time. Okay? But he can step on the court and cause something and not get ejected. Sometimes people spill their beer by accident and they get kicked out. I know people, and I know security guards from the Raptors game where they have to do this. It's protocol. He did it again, like Skip Bayless, for show, right?
Right.
Because
correct.
We all talk about the bullshit that he said to John Morant, and they got into it, but you barely see the footage of him and John Morant's dad after dapping it up, saying, yo, we're good. Yeah. Right? You don't see that. Yeah. It was all for show. So to me, these 2 fucking guys are, can I say this on your show? These fucking idiots, okay? We're getting paid too much fucking money to talk about this. They're just create like, I don't know, like some sort of orchestra, like
headlines.
They just want
to
be on show.
For you to watch the show.
Wait, hold up. And also add to the whole LeBron pageantry that he puts up. Because, Shannon, LeBron, LeBron.
I can't believe you guys disrespect LeBron like that.
Hold on. I'm not done my thoughts yet. LeBron is a great player. I'm not hating on LeBron James. I think he's a great player. I just don't think they can win. I believe LeBron is a great player. My only problem with LeBron is the way he speaks after losing, the way he throws teammates under the bus, and when he comes out and says he's the GOAT after winning 1 championship. you're not the GOAT. Michael Jordan is the GOAT, and you're pissed off because everyone thinks Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But I want to get back to my thought here on Shannon. Here's the thing
Sorry, I
that
thought the
bothers
game
me.
was over.
Here's the thing that bothers me about this. LeBron James called in a favor because any other person who did that at a game and was escorted out would not be able to come back. LeBron James, after the game, said, "That's my guy. I stand with him." I guarantee you, LeBron called in a favor. He went to the buses and said, "Make sure Shannon stays." That's what happened
Look
there.
at Charles
Now,
Oakley.
now,
Look what
as
happened to
far,
Charles
yeah,
Oakley.
and he left because the owner didn't want him there. Now, here's the thing that I'll disagree with. Skip and Shannon are smart, not stupid, and let me explain to you why. Any tweet
Why
that
they
they
act
put
like
out,
idiots?
any tweet that they put out, anything that they say, anything that they do is to get ratings and to get people watching the show. That's what they're paid to do, and that's what they're going to do. I don't disagree with anything they've done because that's what they're paid to do. They're paid to create controversy and to get people watching their show. I watch their show. I actually enjoy listening to them. And they're not stupid. They know their shit. Like, Skip Bayless has been a journalist since the 70s. He knows his sports inside and out. I can respect that even though the person is a little messed up, right? Shannon Sharp knows his stuff, right? Maybe he's a LeBron fanboy, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know his stuff. And so that's where I'll disagree. Stephen A. Smith for years has been saying controversial things and getting away with it because he's paid millions of dollars to say those things and to get people to watch his show, which he's successful doing. He's a cowboy hater. Everybody knows it, but he gets away with it because he makes it funny and uses it every single year that he's on the show. So that's what I'll disagree, but I still think Shannon Sharp should have been kicked out, but LeBron called in a favor. Now, we have 10 minutes, and we will be doing a part 2 here because I'm not done yet. Now,
there's no quit in you.
No, there isn't. I'm going to say I'll speak about this and segue to Brian later, but I just want to say that for people who don't know, Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts did play each other in college. Jalen Hurts won 42-41 over Brock Purdy, so keep that in mind when you're watching the game. It was Oklahoma at Iowa State. I'm sure Oklahoma was favored in that game, so that gives you a little context into what that game might be like. Now, you might not know this, Brian, but Bruce Boudreau was fired this week, and it was not nice. Not nice at all. So Bruce Boudreau is the coach of the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah. I saw that.
the Vancouver Canucks, who are a joke of an organization right now, basically hired his replacement before they fired him. And everybody knew it except Bruce. And then he had to face interviews knowing he was gone. It was one of the saddest things that I've ever seen in my life. And the Vancouver Canucks organization, they're an utter embarrassment, and everyone should call them out on it. And I'm going to be the first one to do it, although everyone else has already done it. That's a joke. Now, Bruce Boudreau was crying because it might be his last coaching job. I mean, he's been around the block. He might not get another one, and he loves coaching. But that's an embarrassment.
Wasn't he on Boston at one point?
No, he's been around, but not in Boston. But listen, you want to fire a guy, but don't hang him out to dry. That's ridiculous. Okay.
Listen, this all started with the stupid president. Okay, the president named Boudreau the coach without even having a GM. Okay, first of all, the GM should be the one that's hiring the head coach, not the president, not the whatever the director of sports entertainment, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's number one. Second of all, I totally agree with you. That was so stupid of them firing the guy after they already had hired Rick Tocchet. Everybody was already talking about it. And you know what? And I give mad respect to Boudreau for the way he knew what was happening, and he never said anything bad about the organization, never said anything bad about the GM, kept doing his job, and like in the press conference, every time they try to say something about it, he would always make a little funny joke or story or whatever to get, to relieve the questions and stuff like that. So no, for that, I respect him. Hopefully he gets another job. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing him as an assistant coach to the Leafs. He could help out Keith. I wouldn't mind having a guy like that with his experience and stuff like that behind the bench. Or anywhere else, like even in Montreal, he can go help St. Louis or somebody like that, right?
Yeah.
So that guy,
he'll be in the game. He'll be in the game.
Yeah, 100%. But it's true though. That was disrespectful. And one more, I don't know if you're done yet, but
Yeah. I got a couple more, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. I just like to say, I just watched a great match between for all those wrestling fans out there. I just watched a great match between Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal. I had a tear in my eye, and I'd like to say, because I didn't mention it last week, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. He got into a car accident, was hit head on by a truck that crossed over into his lane. He had his two daughters in the back seat. They're in critical condition right now, but seem to be turning the corner. I just want to say rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. They were a great tag team, incredible to watch, and watching that match really got the emotions up for me. And I wish him, his family, and all of everyone who loved him all the best. And then
It kind of sucks that that's not his really his last name, but he used it.
no,
because of
Jay
Briscoe,
Pugh,
the original.
Jay Pugh, for people who don't know,
Yeah.
you know,
But he used it in
Jay,
honor and respect for one of the greatest
yeah,
wrestlers before him.
yes. And just to segue into Brian, and then you guys can go. The Minnesota Vikings did what Brian asked and fired their defensive coordinator Ed Dontel.
I
Go
called
ahead.
I told you guys it was gonna happen, man. We all knew it was gonna happen. Like, come on. I'm gonna keep this really quick and tight for you. When you go 11-1 in one score games in a fucking 17 game season, right? These are the games that you're playing. Like, are you serious? There's something wrong with your defense. Your offense was doing it right. And yeah, Reese, guess what? Our offense is good. Okay. And the other thing I got to tell you guys is I rewatched our last video and I didn't get to rebuttal, but Jose, you did ask me about who I'm going to pay, Thielen or Jefferson. Okay. Jefferson is still under contract for the next 2 years. Kirk Cousins is still under contract. So it's not about paying somebody right now. So we don't have to get rid of those guys. We can still keep this core. Now, we can just pay Thielen, keep him in Minnesota, and change our freaking. You know what's actually funny, Reese? I got to tell you, they actually, on the official Minnesota Vikings page, they did put up that a possible candidate for defensive coordinator would be Mike Zimmer. What do you think about that?
No, you know who I would hire if I'm Minnesota? Dan Quinn. That's who I'd hire.
That's a good one.
I'd hire Dan Quinn. And you know, but he'll likely stay in Dallas if he's just going to be a coordinator. He's looking for a head coaching job, and you're not going to fire the coach you have right now, O'Connell. So, to me, the Vikings should release Thielen because of his contract and the fact that they're not using him as a number one option anymore, and use that money to improve the defense. That's what I would do with
being
that.
a number 2, number 3 option.
Well, then he's got to take a pay cut. Then he's got to take a pay.
With Osborne, Ham. He
Okay,
loves it.
Then he has to take a pay cut. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
He's born and raised in Minnesota.
We have 3 minutes left. Jose, did you want to add anything on that? And then we're gonna come back and
Yeah,
let you
man,
guys go.
This like what people these days are so fucking weird. It's not even funny, dude. Like Hamlin was at the game, okay? Hamlin's at the Buffalo game, and they're saying that it's not him. Like the players have come out saying that's him. Like Matt Milano took a picture with him. Josh Allen took pictures with him. Like, dude, the man is wearing a mask because he still has like problems with the breathing. His lungs are not 100% healthy yet. So that's why he's wearing a mask. So then he doesn't get any diseases or anything like that. Like, and anybody can wear a hoodie. Like I when I go out, I wear a hoodie all the time. So what's the big deal? Like these people are like conspiracies saying that there's a clone or that he's died already and they're just doing this so the NFL doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, Benny.
It's ridiculous.
Why would his mom be there and his father be there? And like the little kid that was there, I don't know if that's his brother or whatever, whoever that is. Like, come on, dude. Like, please have some respect.
And guys, he declined to be interviewed because he wants to get paid for his first interview. He's trying to play it smart, people. He didn't want to just have the TV interview him for his first few words. He wants to have a one-on-one where he gets paid to do his first interview. That's why he didn't interview. All you idiot anti-vaxxers out there, the guy lived, and we should all be happy. The vax didn't
100%.
kill him. The non-vax didn't kill him. The guy had a heart attack on the field. It's not the first time it's happened. I've seen this happen in hockey multiple times before a vaccine even existed for COVID. Okay? So understand, I've seen multiple players. We saw it happen to Rich Peverly. We've seen it happen where defibrillators are now in every rink to save people's lives. So shut up, anti-vaxxers, and let this guy live his life and move on. Now, we're going to come back for part 2 because I'm dying to hear what else Jose and Brian have to say, what's on their mind. But until part 2 happens, I'm the mouth of North Andrew Reese. That's Jose Carlos Gomes, and that's a sorry Vikings fan, Brian King Hosein. We will see you right back here on the Reese Report.